Hello everyone. You guys know me as Flavi. I've been creating content on YouTube for the past 2 years and have amassed a following of over 7,000 subscribers on the platform. I also stream on Twitch under the handle I'm Flavi. Time does fly by while you're having fun, and I'm grateful that I was able to spend the summer managing competitive battle guys as my main focus over the channel relied on clan wars for the game. Most of the matches I refereed were very interesting, and it was exciting to see which selections and clans were the best at the game. Even though I enjoyed refereeing these clan wars and managing the cups, editing these videos took quite a bit of effort, and I often procrastinated on making the highlights. I tried to go above and beyond on what I saw on YouTube, and I believe that it paid off because of the popularity of my highlight videos. Even though those videos have built my current community, I feel that there is one major problem with them. They will get views and then flatline, just like a YouTube short. What I mean by this is that on the first day, these videos will get 100 to 200 views at most, and then after several weeks passed, they're still at the same amount of views compared to when they were first published. Too many videos have fallen under this trap, and despite my efforts to improve the videos, they still get into that pitfall of not having very good stickiness with viewers. Combined with the falling ad revenue, watch time, and subscriber counts, it has made Battle Guys, as a primary focus on the channel, completely unviable in the long run. As some of you may know, I have recently resigned from competitive Battle Guys, so I'm not going to play for any more clans or any more selections for the time being. Besides the low viewer retention on Clan War highlight videos, one of the biggest reasons why I resigned was due to there not being any downtime. I was constantly being called up to referee cups, and the community kept on making new cups because they were so trophy hungry and couldn't wait for the current season to end. And in other cases, they didn't want to contact me to be an assistant, and other times, it's because I got fed up with having to repeat myself for specific players, and I didn't like the impatience of those who I worked with, and I basically got burnt out after a whole summer. Let me expand on the burnout. As you guys know, Battle Guys is set to release a new update to hopefully fix the retention rate for the game. The main problem is that the game is repetitive, and players will quit after 10 matches. I attempted to host a World Cup for Battle Guys near the time Kick Games went on vacation. If you're wondering what happened to it, let me explain. We only had 8 teams registered because 2 of them quit right before we were scheduled to start, so we just started without them. I wanted to get the group stage done in 2 weeks so we would have time to finish before the update, and we didn't know when the update would come out. So the group stage happened, but there was a lot of matches decided by walkover. If you don't know what that means, it means the match is just given as a 0-0 draw, and neither team receives a point from it due to their failure to organize in time. What happened was, a lot of the matches ended up being walkover simply because the 2 teams didn't want to play. So we go to the knockouts. Both quarterfinals go well, but then we get to the semifinals, and all of a sudden, out came an unofficial client that allowed players to experience an older version of the game. Everyone wanted to switch to that, and it got so popular to the point where no one wanted to play the World Cup anymore, so every team except for one withdrew from the competition. It would not have been fair to anyone to give the only team that remained in the Cup the World Cup trophy if they only played 2 games out of the expected 5 or 6. Therefore, I cancelled the competition because it was such a failure, and at that point, I knew that competitive had collapsed due to the impatience of players and the sheer boredom of the game. The reason I needed to go fast was because I knew the player base for competitive was dwindling, and I also needed to go back to school soon. By the time I post this, I'll have less than a week of my summer vacation before I return to classes in the fall, so had the World Cup not been cancelled, we would likely have already finished it, and I would be working on the highlights right now. I'm sure it was obvious that competitive was falling when I hosted Flavi Tournament number 4, in which 6 teams out of the expected 8 were registered. The cracks were already being formed, and when the World Cup ended, it became shatters. Even though I tried everything possible to make sure the cups were fair and well organized, the players simply didn't like the game, so they refused to play. And when they did play, the highlights don't get views after the first day, which further proves that making the game my primary focus has led to losses in the long run. So, the loss in viewership, alongside the collapsed nature of competitive and my inability to fix it, is why I resigned. But anyways, I'll still be a content creator for Battle Guys. I still enjoy playing the game normally. It's just that the game is not stable enough to handle esport in my opinion. Remember how I just said the unofficial client became so popular that everyone switched to it without finishing the World Cup? Well, that also died within a week, and that's another sign of how I know that if I focus solely on competitive players in Clan Wars, it leaves the channel's growth to be slowed or stopped. Until we have a more stable competitive atmosphere in the game, I don't see a conceivable way that I'm coming back to playing Clan Wars, especially since college is starting up again, and I'll be pretty busy for the next 4 months. So now I imagine you guys are asking, what's next for the channel? Well, even though I won't really be sitting down to record videos at any moment of the day anymore, I have a plan to keep this channel active while I'm at university, and that is occasional live streams of Battle Guys, Stumble Guys, and a new game, Rivals, on Roblox. The reason I selected Roblox Rivals for a third game on this channel is because it's free to play, accessible, and popular with a strong player base that is better than both Stumble Guys and Battle Guys combined. I've seen clips of it, and I've played quite a lot lately, and I can say it's pretty fun. I'm also open to trying other Roblox games, so starting with Rivals feels like the best choice so I can see how well Roblox itself resonates with my viewers, given that both Stumble Guys and Battle Guys are in struggling states, and that their content creators are also pretty much going forward to this, alongside other Roblox games. My approach will be to live stream these games on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time, Twitch horizontally and YouTube vertically. This will allow me to grow both channels quickly and with minimal frustration of having to edit videos and record lots of stock footage, which last semester made me lose time for studying and caused my plate to be more full than it should have been. So because of that, I feel that this livestream first prioritization will be a step in the right direction, because now I'll be able to just enjoy the moment with my viewers and maybe get some clips out in the process while publishing on YouTube Shorts, and occasionally publishing the best moments on my main channel page. It helps fill the gap, because otherwise I will be doing nothing for 4 months, and I don't want that to happen. I hope to live stream as much as I can while I don't have too many assignments to do, so if you want notifications, join my Discord server. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment for your convenience. But anyways, I wanted to talk about Battle Guys again, because I know that there are new players coming to this game every day, and I appreciate that. The thing is, people always ask me when the next tournament is, or whenever Kitka Games is going to add tournaments to the game. The truth is, I don't know. Nobody knows. They're not focusing on tournaments. They're focusing on just the new version of the game. So I have no clue about when tournaments are getting added. That said though, it's been more than a month since the last Flavi Tournament, and I know a lot of people enjoyed playing in them, but it's just that I don't know if the demand is sufficient enough for the moment, because I would feel bad hosting a tournament in which no one shows up or barely enough people show up. For a game that isn't well optimized for competitive play, I know it's going to be difficult to host tournaments myself, since they require lots of preparation, lots of gems for my wallet, and lots of support. I know how to prepare tournaments, and I've had the money to afford one, but the question that always lingers in my mind is it worth it? Well, here's my challenge from me to you, my community. If this video hits 50 likes, yes, 50 whole likes, dislikes doesn't matter, then I'll take some time out of my college semester to create Flavi Tournament number 5. Now, I don't know the exact format I'll be using, but I'm debating on making it a solo tournament of 1v1s, or a free-for-all, similar to what I did in the first Flavi Tournament. However, what I want to have is tags as usual for the prize, because at the moment, gems serve almost no purpose in the game apart from buying cosmetics, whereas tags can be shown off in the game as a clear sign of skill. For this potential tournament, I already decided that the prize will be a blast from the past, the purple PR tag. This was given out at the launch of private rooms last year, and I feel I can bring it back just to have some fun. However, to determine if it's worth spending the money to get gems to the winners, I need to see a clear message from them to me. 50 likes on this video, and I'll try my best to plan it, fund it, schedule it, referee it, and all that stuff during the school year. The light goal is high because I was originally going to wait on when there was a better competitive atmosphere for the game, but because I know some players are eagerly waiting for the next major Flavi tournament and want a chance to earn gems and tags, I'm granting this challenge to see if the demand is high enough for a Flavi tournament now, as opposed to whenever they add fully customizable rooms or something along the lines of that makes tournaments more viable in the game. So, therefore, this is my opportunity. 50 likes, and it's gonna happen. I'll try my best to make sure it doesn't fail. And trust me, with community support, it won't fail. Anyways, I'm Flavi, and I hope you got something out of this update. Good night.